Welcome everybody to week 2 of the NACE Starleague regular season. The Saints varsity roster gonna be coming in here tonight up against George Mason Esports. I'm Josh Pafundi, joined by first time on the booth, Ryan Sheehan here. Ryan, how are you feeling today? I mean, coming in first cast, how you feeling?
I'm a little nervous. It's my first time. I'm usually the guy behind the camera. So
You're the ghost of the production room, as
yeah,
I like to say.
the,
No one's ever seen your face yet or heard your voice, but you're shouted out on just about every stream,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah, for
very
sure.
integral to the broadcast here. But finally, coming on the mic, joining me here. I've been trying to get you on here for a while, so I'm excited.
yeah, I have been doing the opposite, trying to avoid it at all costs. But we're here today. St. Clair going to be starting on defending side. We do not have Gub in today, as you can see on screen. Endeavor going to be starting in his position.
Yeah, grabbing on to that jet too. Endeavor, one of these players who's been pretty, I feel like pretty flexed between the varsity and the academy rosters here. And that's the great thing about that academy system, is just having two teams with such a deep roster pool there. But if we start here, George Mason looking to 3 players with those ghosts coming through. So a lot of money on this pistol round being spent on weaponry itself, whereas it's going to be player here like Surya and Ved who are going to be dropping a little bit more on utility just to hold that one down. Spike left that spawn to start. It's a slow creep mid for George Mason.
Yeah, it's always good to start off with those lurks. You see the Jet, KO, and Sova all in the mid, trying to just get some info on how they take that. Then they'll take the bomb, go to site. But we do see Ems taking down Kieran, and then reverse Chase taking down Endeavor. A lot of kills going on right now.
Yeah, Chase for 2 makes it out with 20 health, but you see, believe that's Ems there on the KO mid. He's going to get tapped out. Chase for 3 this round. Big pistol round player, huge impact so far, but now he's getting pinched, tapping. Believe that's Caillou on that Killjoy, or Seth there. Seth on the Killjoy to finish that one off. Tapping takes his ones against Surya as well. Omen v Omen is going to be the Saints Omen to win that one out, but a pretty solid start to the pistol round from George Mason. Kind of fell apart a little bit after they didn't really capitalize on the picks. They kind of just moved back and were stuck in mid-tiles area.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chase going to be getting those 3 kills for the side of George Mason. Yeah, he did it. Oh my goodness, yeah. The caster nerves going on here. He's definitely was carrying that first round. Did a really good job.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, he makes those trades mid, which is a big one, especially on a character like the Silva, where you're trying to get that intel. You're just trying to play for your team and make sure anything your duelists do is not, you know, unfollowed up on. A big one from Seth to start. Caillou starts with that first one as well. That's Sova on defense here on Ascent. I mean, it can't be stopped. The amount of info you get from that dart. Ems tries to get that pop flash off, is going to meet Surya right in the smoke. Surya falls on the trade and 4-tapping to finish that one off. I believe that was 4-tapping for 2 there, as well as Seth for 2, and Caillou was able to find 1.
Yeah, and going to these comps, identical.
Oh, yeah.
The Ascent VCT combo can't go wrong with this.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of where we've hit in Valorant at this point, right? We're almost 3 years in now to this game, including the beta and everything, and the meta, especially on a map like Ascent, the first map ever added to the game out of beta, it's gonna be figured out eventually, right? Eventually, you know, these are the strongest setups. You might see a team, I mean, we've seen teams throw a Brimstone in there, throw an Astra in there, right?
Yeah.
But it's going to come to a point where everything's figured out. Endeavor going to figure out once Tiles find that first pick onto Esper, get that player advantage going for the rest of this round.
Yeah, and going with SC St. Clair's comp, it's usually, from what I gathered from last semester, and a little bit going into the first few games this semester, it was usually Ems on the duelist?
Yeah, Ems is often on the duelist, but I feel like recently, on a few of these maps, actually, we have been seeing him pick this KO, which is, the thing is, when you're playing KO, you're almost a duelist as well. Like, you have those duelist qualities, but it's also easier to play for your team as a character.
Yeah, like, I am a gold 1 player, at by all means, nowhere near this level, but I do play KO, and throwing your flash is the greatest thing on earth. It's so much fun to do. especially when you get those nice shots or nice flashes in chat. It's great.
Yeah, and realistically, and I've kind of said this since KO came out, it's like the quintessential flash. It's what a flashbang should be. Just toss a grenade, it pops. You get a few different options there. Endeavor spots K-Tran on the cross there. 2 fall on site. 1 more left there. It's just Surya. He's going to find 1 spray. He's going to find 2. Almost takes down Endeavor as well, but M's going to finish that off with a Sheriff shot. 3-0 now, St. Clair College. They've been finding not only those early rounds in the first 2, but now on that buy round, you get Endeavor on an operator, you get an early pick, and you get a great retake to come through. 3 players alive. You keep 3 rifles in hand. The economy looking great for St. Clair College right now. Easily able to pick up this 4th round, possibly even a 5th if you keep this momentum going.
Yeah, and like even going into that round, they gave George Mason that entire bomb site. They
allowed it to happen.
Yeah, they stepped back. They're like, okay, let's have them get set up. Maybe throw a wrench in there as they're getting through into planting the bomb, and came in and took the round.
Yeah, and it's easy for them to split up players too. When they allow players to move onto that B site, you can kind of split up the fights to take out the players who are around this front area, around garage there, trying to play through maybe holding market, and then they take out those 2 players, and then they focus on the 2 players on site, and it's almost like it's the concept of isolating your ones just moved into like a team scale almost.
Absolutely. And M's going to be taking...
Flash. This is going to be huge.
Yeah, it's big.
Comes through, 1 to be found. M's with a 3rd. 4 tapping. Nice tap there. Surya all the way up in heaven, just pinched from this entire team. You see 3 players from the Saints rotating around CT for that as well.
Absolutely. And that first kill off of M's, off his, I'm not sure what the actual call out is for, but his grenade.
Yeah.
He got the opposite KO trying to get the ult orb, picked him off.
Yeah, I feel like most people just call it a molly, even though it's not like a it's not like a damage over time like most mollies are. It's just kind of like the 4 hits.
Yeah, it's like a pulse grenade or something.
Yeah,
I'm a Halo player, so there's pulse rifle, there's everything.
Pulse grenade. You
Yeah,
make
exactly.
Yeah, I could get behind adopting that term there. But yeah, just that KO molly, that pulse grenade there, it's comes in for that first one. And you're assuming it's comboed up with some kind of other utility there as well at the starting. That was on the other side of the map, so we didn't get to see that really. But M's stepping off the duelist, allowing that jet to go over to Endeavor. Endeavor probably just more comfortable on that. M's okay with that. Gonna say, I'm gonna pick the KO, still make as much impact as I usually do. Just play a little bit more for the team, start flashing out for my teammates there, even though he's the one who finds a lot of those kills off his flashes.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I know discussing with Coach Hybrid at the beginning of the semester, that was one role that they were looking at filling with these academy players as well, as who's going to be our main flash.
Yeah.
And obviously they gave it to Ems, and he's doing quite the job with it.
Yeah, doing wonders with it right now. Slow round to start. George Mason, slow creep up Cat 2 towards that A main area, and you've got Ved holding this long lurk here. He's going to be that player with the spike, though. Think about Valorant rounds. Compare it to something like CS or Rainbow, other tac shooters. The rounds themselves are very quick. A minute 50 is not that much time. You see literally no picks, almost no contact to be found across the map, and we're already 30 seconds left. A slow play from George Mason in contrast to a lot of these earlier rounds. Endeavor still holding this with the operator. Steadfast in that one. He's going to drop that angle at the perfect time. He was about to get swarmed by 3, but then again, it's a jet. Caillou finds that first one on the entry. K-Tran, good for a trade. It's 3 kills to come through. George Mason going to have that player advantage moving into this retake. Retake going to fall onto 4 tapping and M's here. The British brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 tapping going to be looking to take this KO in position, or taking down their I'm missing all the names. The lockdown. That's what it is. Oh my lord. But they do come out with the round.
Yeah, and I mean, come into that one, you saw that isolated one there. 4 tapping just barely made it out alive against not Surya there, that other Omen, and site's going to be cleared off. You give that point to Ems as well. Get that null command just a little bit closer. Yeah, like you said, that lockdown used to get the site, and it works for that purpose, but then as soon as these players start attacking it, it's hard for George Mason to play. You don't have really much more stall capacity after that, especially with the characters that are left.
Yeah, and especially for St. Clair in that situation, it's either you got 10 to 15 seconds to make a play, or you sacrifice the site, let them have their thing before tapping. Going to be going in, getting Killjoy back site, and destroying that lockdown.
Yeah, able to find that in the end. 1 second to start the round here. Seth set up on A, kind of flipped around actually. We've seen M's and 4-tapping there on A for most of the game here, but now it's a bit of a switch from the start. Obviously, Endeavor back to this tiles hold, waiting for Ved. That player who's been holding tiles just about every time, waiting for him to make the decision to peek out, but the decision to execute on this A site has been made by George Mason. They make it on there, but chunk a lot of health out in the process, specifically onto Chase Q here. Endeavor, look at this angle, waiting for K-Trend to peek out. He's just going to go back to holding this with the op. One's good. Will he find it with the shorty? No. He decides to throw the Cloudburst, and he falls to K-Tran with the Spectre. K-Tran shuts down that lockdown as well, but 3 players from the Saints left. In the end, it goes all the way Saints.
Yeah, and 4-tapping with using his ult to get into the back corner of A main and taking down I believe it was Kieran the Sova. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, took down that Sova holding rafters and wiped him clean. 6-0.
6-0 to start here, and keep in mind, this is Ascent. This is Saints starting on Ascent and on defensive side, the side that they often find most of their rounds here on Ascent. You get to start off on your preferred side on one of your most preferred maps as well. How many times have we seen the Saints play Ascent? Probably every single series. I don't think we've ever seen Ascent be map 3. It's always in 1 or 2, which means it comes in almost every single series here. Saints very, very well versed in this map. Also just on an absolute tear this season. I mean, activation games for something like NECC, they went 4-0 in that. They're 1-0 in NACE right now. They're just feeling confident all around.
Yeah, and even taking down Fisher College as well in those NECC activation games.
Yeah, a big one. Which one of the schools that was a bane to this roster last year. One of the only schools that was really keeping up with them, really giving them a run for their money every single time they were on the opposite sides of the server. Esper spotted out mid. Not actually going to use any more utility than just the one Cloud Burst. Couple shock darts dropped as well. Caillou there trying to find some good lineups. No damage really to be done, but this Jet from George Mason dangerously low.
Yeah, I think he got tagged with the shock dart.
Yeah, I think that second one might have had a bounce on it.
Yeah, really, really slow plays coming out of George Mason. Trying to, like, drag out the Saints. They're up 6-0. They're going to be like, okay, maybe we can just go off of their gunny, but trying to, like, bait them out a little bit. Try and get some holding an angle or something, but St. Clair holding strong. Yeah,
they're trying to play slow and make St. Clair get cocky, make St. Clair get hungry for kills, right? Hungry for action in general, but as you're playing on that defensive side with this Ascent comp as well, you see in the kill feed 2 come through on that A site. Esper's good for a trade, but now you're peeking into Endeavor with this op. Not enough health in the bank for that one. Seth for 3 in the end, and it's K-Tran, not Kieran there for that KO.
But my mistake.
Small letters.
Yeah, my vision is not the best.
Yeah.
Either way, but
no, yeah. I think I said Kieran as well earlier, but K-Tran, Surya, and then I guess Chase QQ. I'm just gonna call him Chase.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, do you take a look at this economy here? It's gonna be another round,
hot at all.
Most likely all the way to the Saints. The thing is, we haven't even seen George Mason really get to a convincing end-of-round situation. There was the 2v2 that came through, but in the end, the Saints didn't even end up taking that much damage from that 2v2 after all was said and done. A lot of plants on to these sites, but George Mason just cannot get that full hold. You see this crazy aggressive start here. Bladestorm comes out, Ember all the way in with that smoke dash combo, and now 2 picks come through. Seth falls. The retake, 3v5 for the Saints here. Chase and Jet there. Esper already locked down in Boathouse. M's for the first pick.
Yeah, Saints all huddled up near this, near the market door switch, but Endeavor holding this angle, hoping to pick him off so they don't have to worry about getting sandwiched here, but doing a good job. Just bait him out, and there it goes. K-Tran with 2, not sure with the final. Beautiful.
Thrifty round from George Mason. Their first one to come through as well. Shut down that shutout that was looking to happen in this first half. 7-1, interesting. I casted a CS game with the exact same scoreline last night.
Yeah.
Funny, there was actually a comeback in that one, so maybe we'll see George Mason come back here. But
Yeah,
K-Tran, with that stinger last round, able to pick up 2 in the end as St. Clair got a little too aggressive on that retake. Possibly St. Clair needed to maybe just save that one out. I mean, I know, granted, most of them were sitting at like 8K, 9K. They didn't necessarily need the money.
Yeah, they are A-OK on economy. They don't need to worry for now. So officially no more donuts on the board, kill-wise and score and round count. But George Mason going to be attacking A site here.
Yeah, this is the one that has been shut down more than a few times before. M's with the first one, but I mean, you're holding a close corner like that. You take those any day if you're M's. You're 1-for-1. Double trades from Seth as well. And 3v2, George Mason, 1 player down, needs to get this plant off too. You can see Endeavor pretty much just waiting for this audio cue.
Oh, the fake teleport as well from
Yeah, you see it. Endeavor left that angle. You see, they're like,
yeah,
okay, maybe
they're
they aren't
questioning it
A.
now.
Maybe they aren't A? Question marks coming through in the Saints players' minds right now.
Yeah, look at Caillou going through B very cautiously,
What are
having
these
no idea
fakes?
what's going on, but 4-tapping, holding out
30 seconds left.
CT or defender spawn by mistake.
Are they going to make this rotate? They're going to meet 4-tapping here if
have
they
the ti-
decide to, but
I don't think
or
they
are they
have the
just trying to
time.
play time? Maybe
Oh,
just
here
make
goes.
them think they're on that rotate. Now the plant comes through, but Endeavor heard them jump in heaven from a mile away as well. Starts to break that garage door. Going to break it with a classic hit, waiting to pop it so that the rest of the team can follow up. But now 2v2. Post-plant setup is good from George Mason. They've got that Hunter's Fury as well. They know one's top. He drops down on Endeavor. Endeavor falls. Surya and Chase to finish that one out. A slow post-plant, a slow plant from them in general. But
Sure.
their mind games end up working in the end, 2 rounds straight.
Yeah, giving St. Clair a little bit of a panic with the with not sure using the teleport.
Yeah.
Are they B? Are they A? And then they pull out the round. Endeavor, going back to my Halo roots, go with the no scope. Go with the no scope. Works every time. Okay, it doesn't work every time. But for Halo, at least you get your
crosshair.
crosshair.
You have a
Crosshair,
crosshair.
yeah.
Honestly, this is gonna sound crazy. I don't think the no scopes from the Valorant op are like terrible. I think, especially in a situation like that, definitely could have been possible, although always more consistent to go
Absolutely.
for that scope. But yeah, I don't think no scopes are as bad as people make them seem, especially in such close quarters like that when you're just barrel stuffing somebody. Definitely can be possible. But even after that last round, rifles straight back in, Endeavor back with an operator as well.
4-tapping and Esper both weak.
Yeah, 4-tapping one-shottable, if anything. Esper might have to take 1 or 2 to the body, but another slow start from George Mason. It seems like their play really just seems to be bait out as much utility as possible, wait for that split second. They make that execute, lightning fast executes, by the way, and
sure.
then
Oh,
find that
info.
plant. The only thing they've really been falling short on is the post plants themselves. When
Yeah.
Saints have had a player advantage in the post plant, it's worked for them, what, I guess like 7 out of 9 times now.
Yeah, for sure.
30 seconds
Execute
left.
comes through, only 2 on site. It's Ems and Caillou here to hold this one. Pop Flash comes through, Ems full blind, but he's not spotted out in the corner. There's 2 for Ems, 1 for Endeavor. 4-tapping and Caillou fell in the process. Surya, good for 2.
But he has bomb down.
It's all left to Ems. 1v2, bomb down. Flash comes through, turned away by Surya. This is going to be a tough position for Ems. Has to get that reload through as well. Not enough time. A great pinch there from George Mason. They're able to grab a round win, some extra plant money as well. And now, look at the cash, Ryan. All evened out for the first time this game.
Yeah, I think this is Saints' first save round of the match. And by the looks of it, if Saints do not pull off a Thrifty, it may be a 9-3 curse.
9-3 curse, 7-5 half is definitely possible for George Mason right now, especially looking towards that next round. You take a win here, no matter how many rifles you lose, you can rebuy it next round, that final round. This is going to be a big one. It's going to be a decider of momentum, in my opinion, too. George Mason, grab 2 more rounds here. You move into that defensive side, and you're feeling hot on one of the more preferred sides on Ascent by a lot of teams. I feel
Absolutely.
Flash comes through. Paranoia hits 2, hits 3 actually on the site there. Caillou taps good on Esper, shuts down K-Trans Null Command as well, but that KO still going to need to be rezzed on site. Seth up top here with that Marshall, and everyone's cleared out. It's a quick, swift retake from St. Clair College from all angles as well.
Absolutely, yeah. St. Clair coming out with the thrifty here.
Defender win 8-3. Now George Mason, like we said, still going to have that cash to buy, but keeping 3 alive for St. Clair there was huge. Even with that round win, you see someone like Seth comes in to this next round, only 3,600. He would have had a tough time buying that time. Obviously, he didn't get as much money because he stayed alive, but still, it's the concept of they were able to bring that many more rifles into this last round and keep it as even of a playing field as you can. You never want to be stuck in that last round with something like a Bulldog or a Guardian. Yes, it can make it work. Yes, they can be stellar guns in certain situations, but you always want to have those consistent rifles, that Vandal, that Phantom.
Yeah, you could always go with the trusty Stinger.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mistake.
Yeah, the burst, the burst Phantom.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Just right click and you got a burst Phantom there for 1,200. But Seth, Paranoia out once again. It's gonna be this same A hit from George Mason. Seth tucked away in this corner. 2 more towards his right. He sees the shots come through. Pop Flash comes through as well. Nobody's going to peek him. I don't think they knew he was there, but he's going to reveal himself from those shots. K-Tran finds 1. Now, 5 players set up on site. 3 for the retake, all from heaven. Let's see how this goes, Ryan.
Yeah, and Endeavor was pulling out the glass cannon op as well with the light shield. Does pick up a Vandal for the retake, but it's looking a little nerve-wracking for the Saints here.
Yeah, last round could easily go over to George Mason, especially with all these ultimates in the back pocket. Ems shuts down Esper, though. A great trade from that Hunter's Fury. You get Ems back up as well, and now you're 1 for 1, only burning 1. Alt dash comes through, but Endeavor falls on the drop. Ems for 3, but you're going to have to make it an ace to try and win this one. George Mason going to come out with the last round of the half.
Unlucky, and that lockdown coming out of George Mason's side.
Beautiful lockdown.
Yeah,
the sheer amount of time that it stalled was so valuable for them.
Yeah, you get a solid 10 seconds off the bomb. It's
10, 12 easily, yeah. Yeah, because you got to factor in, it's the rotation time out, that pops, and then it's another 2-3 seconds before they actually get back to that heaven area. So you're chunking out a good, when I believe it's 40 seconds on the bomb, if I'm not mistaken, or 30, something around there.
30, 40, yeah.
Yeah, when you're chunking out a quarter of that, a third of that, that's half your retake gone after the fact. You have to react to the bomb plant. You have to rotate around. That lockdown comes out. How much time do you have left to make that play? Everyone's put into a tough position. Ems has to pop that null command, has to go for almost an ace to finish that one out. It's just not going to work. Yeah. George Mason, perfectly timed utility.
Yeah, that, and you have to kill 5.
Yeah, and there's 5 players left.
Absolutely. But we see St. Clair making a rush onto A site.
Yeah, kind of taking this exact same execute that George Mason likes to do. It's a very classic one. Send your jet in there, get that cloudburst, that dash combo. You're able to get so much space onto site. You're able to get info about site as well. If you're Endeavor there, you're able to get a pick too. Esper and K-Tran trading those back. K-Tran so low. Endeavor finds it. Paranoid though, and super blind as Endeavor and 4-tapping fall. Ems Uwu on the post plant, but he has no idea where Surya is. The stick is going to come through. This is looking like George Mason's pistol round to win, and boy, is it. Ems can't find any more exits. Is able to find one, but traded out in the end.
Yeah, and especially for coming into the pistol round, we're going to see the Ares come out. It's my favorite gun, the Spectre. My gosh, the Spectre, my favorite gun. I can't even think of the name. They're coming out with like a half buy coming out of the winning side, George Mason. Regardless if they get finished off in the end there.
Yeah, it's typical second round buy here, some SMGs. You throw that LMG into the hands of the Sova here, and we're going to see the classic Sova start. This is why a lot of teams have stopped just stacking B. It's that something like the phase raid combo, raise combo, like we've seen the Saints really like to do, or just something as simple as a Sova with an Odin. Caillou in mid finds that one with those body shots. No headshots needed. Katran, Esper for 2 with the Ghost too. Esper didn't even buy a gun. Esper is looking for that operator round 3. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, getting some help from the KO. But yeah, Esper going to be taking them all down. 4-tapping finds Esper on the flank.
Katran's got to be ready for this, right? Misses that headshot. Katran with the spray down from that stinger. Caillou mid, 40 health.
Yeah, this is the guy that you want in a 1v2 though.
Sonar dart available as well. Actually going to be Chase's own sonar to come through. One headshot's good, another one's good. 4K from Caillou.
Wow.
Clutch round on the save as well. Shuts down that bonus. George Mason gonna be the one hurting for cash now after that one.
Yeah, that one, not to steal the gun's name here, that one is a stinger. That one hurts. Yeah, as I said, I kind of called it, but like, Caillou's the one that you want in a 1v2 situation.
Yeah.
Comes out with the double headshot with the Sheriff. It was beautiful.
If there's anyone on this team who would hit those taps, it's going to be a player like Caillou. We've seen him before on stream, loving things like the Marshall. Obviously going to love that Sheriff as well. It's just, this is a player that's there for the taps. They're there for that satisfying, that crisp play. Whereas George Mason here, rotating all the way off of sight. 4-tapping for 1. Endeavor, I want to see him play under here. He's going to just chill around the sloth.
Yeah, this is coming from Warzone with the double pump shotgun. The judge is what I like to call the doof doof.
The boom boom.
Yeah, the semi-auto doof doof. It's crazy.
Wait, 4-tapping could be good for an ace here. He's just going to get traded out by Katran, however.
Oh,
Did have 4. Yeah, traded out in the end. Unfortunate for him there. An Omen ace, too. That could be huge. I mean,
for sure.
Not typically an agent you see there picking up all those kills, but when your entire team floods onto site like that, it all comes together. See 4-tapping in M's. The British brothers, as I called them earlier, topping the scoreboards right now. 19 and 10, 15 and 10 respectively. You see both of them coming in with some decent amount of assists as well. 4-tapping a little bit more, probably because M's has been picking up all the kills off his own flashes. I don't think, I mean, 4-tapping, obviously that Omen flash, you kind of have to let your teammates do it, whereas M's has the luxury to follow up on his own.
Yeah, and that's like that's a typical comp. KO Omen on the A site every single round. You might mix a Killjoy in with some grenades, but yeah, it's just the way the comp is. M's gonna be securing all those kills, and yeah, lots of assists coming through.
It's the Nano Swarm into market. Dved gonna be in a tough position. They know he's stuck on right. Look at this ring around the Rosie coming through. Seth makes it out. Finally, garage door closes. I mean, Ved has to shut that one down. Chase shuts down Seth on that trader. He's going to shut down Caillou, actually. 2v3, 2 on site. What a flank from 4-tapping. Katran takes down Seth, though. 1v1. Null command available from Katran. No utility. Half health, though. All you got to do is spam through that wall. You found one more shot on him. All you need is one more body shot here. But rifle in Katran's hands. The headshot could be good. 4-tapping.
For 3.
4-3 in the end. 11-5. After a half that George Mason looked like they were picking up steam at the end. Grabbed a pistol round as well. Caillou said, screw your momentum. Shut down your momentum. Come to a screeching halt, because that is where George Mason is at right now.
Yeah, and did you see Katran's Molly, nade, whatever you call it? He got stuck on the little ledge on that back wall. Didn't because he was expecting it to bounce where 4-tapping's planting the bomb, but it got stuck on the ledge. So weird.
Just wasn't able to make its mark. That's what happened. There's a lot of interesting things, especially with something like that KO Molly, like you said, or a Viper smoke as well, is one where Cypher cages, anything you can set down like that, usually has some weird like angles that can get caught in corners or on a little ledge. Yeah, here's Esper with this Blade Storm to start, whiffs all the blades, but not Surya for 3 with that Sheriff. There's that KO volley to come through. One tap there, one pulse, as you would say. D-Ved here from heaven. Gonna be tagged out by that one. Caillou knows exactly where this player is, but Caillou's half health. See if they can make this 1v2 happen once again. Different set of players he's up against, but very similar situation. 40 health. Not much to his name. Needs to make these taps happen, but
Not the turret.
all the damage from that turret hurts so much when you're already so low.
And beautiful shot by Ved with the Marshall.
Finished it off. I mean, played out perfectly there by George Mason. Super, super tricky there from, who's that on the KO? K-Tran there on the KO, just behind double boxes there, playing very tricky. Throw your pot shots and then allow Ved up there in heaven with his turret as well to be the one to take most of that heat, because the turret is going to spot him out the second there's any kind of peek. And Caillou, such a tough time trying to break that turret.
Yeah, the turret, I took him down from, I think, 49 to about 25 health.
Yeah, it was like 30, 25. It just kept dropping and dropping every time he peaked. Endeavor this time with his own Blade Storm finds one. Great trade from Chase. Chase has been key for George Mason's trades here this entire game, but now the B site cleared out fully as 2 players fall from the Saints. George Mason, 1 player up. Gonna have to make this retake happen as we wait for rotates to come through. Gonna have to wait for a plant to come through from Ems as well. Here's the setup. Caillou right below Market Balcony here. I think a drone just passed on top of him. I don't think he was spotted out.
Oh, he might have been spotted.
Chase might know. Does Chase know is the question. Caillou with a great spray down. Pop Flash comes through. What is happening? Ems shuts him down. 2 through the smoke. Not Surya.
It's not looking hot here.
Not spotted out just yet, but now spotted out and suppressed. 2 players waiting to find these wall banks. 4 tapping with the peak. Match point for St. Clair College.
Yeah, the reverse assist with 4 tapping with all those assists. Going with 10 assists. Oh my.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Seth with 12 as well.
Yeah, look at this all around. 12, 10, 7, 6, and Endeavor with 2. But that's how that's just how Jet kind of plays.
Yeah. But what you're noticing from this, or at least what this scoreline tells me, is that all of the utility on St. Clair is working as intended. If you have a Killjoy whose turret is spotting people out, tagging them for 3, but then you're not getting an assist, or you're at least not capitalizing off of that info, right? Then there's no point in having the character. So the fact that you see those characters with those assists so high up there, it just means, to me, it just means the comp is working as intended, and shows in the scoreboard. 12-6 here. Match point. Endeavor dashes in with that Cloudburst. Odin in hand, looking to make this the last round. Shut down by Esper from the top, but a great trade from Caillou immediately. 4 tapping in a very, very tricky off angle here.
Yeah, you on defensive side, you do not anticipate that at all whatsoever.
However, though, Ved for 2 as they swing in. Ems, no one's able to win that post plant out. Not Surya. Shuts them down. Surya has been a great player here on defense. One of those players who won't show up for like 2 rounds, but then comes in and just finds 4 for themselves.
Yeah, like, and going off with, especially, I saw with last round with Endeavor, he seems to be the one that gets all the off-angle guns. Last round with the Odin, with the Judge. Yeah, mixing it up with on the Jet, but like, if you get those entries with an Odin, it's game over.
Yeah, honestly. And if, not even that, if you're like Endeavor, you can dash into the back of site, clear out sight for your team, and then just start spraying down an angle. Who's going to peek that angle? Who's going to be able to? Nobody can. In the end, Ems tagged down early. It's a lockdown from Seth. This might be the ultimate to secure the game. Not if Esper is going to go crazy down mid. Can you make it a third Esper? The repeat going to come through. 4 tapping an Endeavor so low in the backline. Endeavor chunked down by this Odin in the end, and D-Ved still finding kills of their own. A very critical player for George Mason.
Yeah, 4 tapping. Going to have to play for kills here. He's only got 23 health. Odin facing him on the other end against 4. Ved looking in, coming from B main. It's not looking too good from here.
Yeah, 4 tapping essentially just hunkered down in this corner until somebody finally finds him now. Kind of reveals himself with that shot. TP out, but you're just waiting for these headhunters to come. Might have to opt for this save here. Could be in for a slow 40 seconds here.
Yeah.
Actually, Dved might have
Holding
heard
this
that
angle.
sprinting.
30 seconds left.
Check your left is the question. Ved, good for that one.
Yeah, that textbook play. He was going for the flank when 4-tapping was in mid. 4-tapping able to make it out of mid, but
Yeah, you make it to that T spawn, but what does it really do for you in the end? Especially, he starts sprinting through spawn, and you know Dved heard that. You know he's just
Absolutely.
waiting there for the peak to come through.
yeah. A lot of the time, like everyone's like, "Oh, how'd you know?" It's like I can hear you stomping like crazy everywhere.
How do you know? Well, if you walk, there's this big circle that tells you exactly where your footsteps can go.
Yeah, if you just hold shift. Like that's
Yeah.
that's all you need to do. Just hold shift for a little bit, and you'll be fine.
I see where 4-tapping was coming from with the sprint, right? A quick rotate back
not
around,
a lot
but
of time either.
it's just that you knew that Killjoy was going to be on B side is the thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Endeavor makes it deep into Garage. He makes it past the door on that cross. Esper missed the first shot, shut down after that. Huge capitalization on that from St. Clair. Chase Q shut down from Endeavor close, and 3 players down. This could be the round. Dved and not Surya, the ones to try and take it back. And a player like this, like I said, haven't seen him for a few rounds, but comes back in, finds a tap, and suddenly makes this much more doable for George Mason here, trying to keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, kind of. Saints kind of use Endeavor as a scapegoat here. Only has 57 HP left. Ems does have the null knife. Playing this angle,
Enemy remaining.
secures a kill. Will he get the second? And he does, and that is St. Clair College win, 13-8 on Ascent.
Beautiful spray to end it off as well. A quick 1-2 spray down. One of them even being through the wall. But as we finish up map 1, Ascent, 13-8 for the Saints here. A map that the Saints are very, very well versed on. But George Mason, boy, did they start coming back in that one. They started giving real resistance, especially after that first, I believe it was those first 9 rounds where it was like Saints domination, like stomp. I mean,
Yeah, I think-
stomp.
Yeah, I think it was what 7-0 to start.
It was 7-0 at a point,
7-0.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not too hot start, but defending side on Ascent is very heavily favored.
Yeah, it's a tough one when you have to take that loss, especially with defense as your second side. But we're going to be looking towards map 2, which I believe is
Icebox.
Icebox. Yeah, one that we haven't seen in a while. We did see the Saints on it somewhat recently,
I
but
think so, yeah.
yeah, it's definitely one that we don't see often on the
It's,
stream. It's a treat for us on the stream.
Yeah, it's out of the collegiate special, as we like to call the Haven Ascent bind, although bind is no longer in rotation, but it's something new. It's something new. I can't complain.
Yeah, honestly, can't complain. Waiting for the day we get that Lotus, but one day a team's not going to ban it. We're going to have a great series on our hand, but nonetheless, we're going to throw it to a quick break. We will come back with map 2, Icebox. Welcome everybody to map 2, getting into agent select here. Gonna be Icebox, one we haven't seen in a while, one with a few more different agents in the pool than that last map, than Ascent there. We're already seeing Caillou on that Reyna. Caillou, we saw his mechanical prowess in the last game.
Absolutely.
Unsurprising that he's gravitating towards a character like Reyna. Reyna obviously not considered the best in team play, but at the same time, when you have a player who can capitalize on those heals, on those dismisses, and just go absolutely crazy with that ultimate, then it can definitely, you can work it into your comp.
Yeah, if you've got the solo skill to pull it off, go nuts. And which we saw in last game, Caillou definitely does, and so looks like he's going to be doing that today.
Yeah, and it's going to be Saints this time flipped on the starts. They're going to be on that attacker side. George Mason here starting on the defense. George Mason opting to stay with the Sage there, actually, and the KO. So M's going to be on the Sova this time. They're going to flip out that Initiator there, and then you're going to have that extra Sentinel on that Sage instead of the extra duel, or actually no duelist comp to come through from George Mason. I just realized that one.
Huh. Yeah, actually, Sage is good for this map if you play her the right way. If you get her walls in for the bomb plants in the right positions and certain things with on A, and especially I notice a lot on A site it works well, but on B site you block from that walkway from mid. It works perfect if you can do it right.
Yeah, and that's why the Sage has, or at least this map specifically, one of those maps where Sage has still been a serious pick. When on a lot of other maps, she's kind of fallen out of the meta.
Yeah,
100%. 2 picks early from the side of George Mason, this attacker side of St. Clair. falling apart on the other sides of the maps. Out there B main, out there mid as well. Picks to come through. You've got no more smokes, no more controlling to be had from that Viper, and then you lose your flank protection as well with that Killjoy. Now you've got double Duelist and a Sova.
Yeah, like you get some recon with the if he purchased the drone or with his recon dart, you have a little bit of information, but double Duelist, it's good luck. It's good luck.
Dart comes through. Ved here on this Viper, holding this one super close. He's going to find that headshot. Ems almost had that first shot on him too. Caillou good for 2 on the other side of the map, and this is what I'm talking about. You put a player strong enough on the Reyna, and they're going to go absolutely crazy. 4K from Caillou, stuck in the corner. No healing, no dismiss left. Just 30 health to his name and a dream, and he's able to find it. D-Ved is able to find that one as well. Will the taps come through? No. This is a tense 1v1 right here. Plant gonna come down. Good from Caillou now. Reset that timer. We're back to about another 35 seconds here.
Yeah, play your time. You have the advantage when bomb is down. Ved gonna have to go searching or bait out the defuse. And oh no, Ved coming out with the 4K. Unfortunate. George Mason going to be taking round 1.
He needs that body shot. That's all he needs is one. Caillou has to play for that headshot there. Caillou taps him once, but that body shot from the Sheriff is going to clean house. Trading out 4Ks both of these sides. D-Ved going to be the one with the round win.
Yeah, and they were getting super aggressive. Ved coming in all the way into...
Yellow there. He was like hiding behind Yellow, yeah.
Yeah, it was like he picked off, I believe it was M's right at, or no, it wasn't M's at the beginning. It was 4-tapping right at the beginning of the round almost. And yeah, super aggressive and take the round.
Yeah, when those insta picks come through, you're spending the next minute 30 just sitting there like, all right, how do we reformulate our plan without the utility we need? That was a great dart too. That was a cool one.
I was in awe. I was like, oh, he's shooting through the little slit in the rafter section there.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy darts on this map, specifically because of all these weird angles here on A site. You see like kind of like the molding up in the corner has those diagonals on them as well. Those angles can make for some crazy lineups. You add the fact that you can throw 2 bounces in there, you can get those darts into some tricky places. But Chase Q gonna find Seth in a tricky place up there trying to get onto rafters, and drops on that rope. Caillou,
unfortunate.
A Marshall enthusiast himself, but Chase Q gonna take him down here. That Bulldog showing why it's such a great option on this second round, because none of these players are gonna have armor, and you pick up that Bulldog, 1 burst to the body, 1 burst to the body, 1 burst to the body, and that's all you need.
Yeah, and can't, like, Bulldog.
Can't
great
complain.
gun. Yeah, can't complain with it. I usually use the if I have the I play swift play, so like second round you got money, so I'm picking the Bulldog every single time over the Spectre or the Stinger or anything like that.
Endeavor deep in this site, but 4-tapping an Endeavor fall. M's the only one left waiting to fall. Is able to find one with a right click there on the classic. Surya unable to bring a gun into that next round, but now buy round to come through from the Saints here on attack. This is going to be the round you want to win, especially when you know those players are going to be carrying over their weaker guns from that bonus round.
Yeah, Ved going to be opting into a Vandal. And noticing from last game, we have a lot of role swaps, even though we have similar characters. K-Tran on KO last round. Going to be switching over the Killjoy. Not sure on the Omen, taking that KO spot. Esper with the Jet, although they don't have a duelist this round. But yeah, a lot of role swaps from Ascent to Icebox.
Yeah. Just in terms of agent picks.
Yeah.
Especially like M's, I think, is the biggest one there to see. Obviously, you've got Endeavor back on to that duelist there, back on the Jet. Caillou, of course, throws in that duelist. Caillou is the Sova player for this team, right? He seems to be the locked in, that main Sova player. We have seen him on a few other agents on some other maps, but rarely the Reyna. But like I said, a player like that can definitely capitalize on it. First one in, first one on the kill feed. It's Caillou. Good for a headshot there. Gonna move to this player around yellow. Chase is insane with that Bulldog.
Oh, but nice trade coming onto Seth. Looking like it. Are they gonna be getting bombed down? Not sure. Gonna be stuck in the Viper's Molly. Oh, lots of. And the shock dart, too, from Ems.
He said he's vulnerable, he's decayed as well. Toss the shock dart in. But that shock dart probably did like 120 damage after all was said and done.
Yeah, and Seth on top of the box from B main. But it looks like... no, it's not Ved, but the Killjoy coming in. K-Tran, that's who it is. Coming in through spawn. Going a weird route, if I might add. But he's looking for the exits, that's why.
After you pointed that out too, I noticed we are seeing some role swaps too from George Mason. D-Ved was on that Killjoy last game, and K-Tran now on the Killjoy, who's actually on a great flank here. He might be able to find one or two good exits. There's one. There's a second from D-Ved. Both players stuck in the corner, have no idea where they are. 4-tapping shuts him down, but K-Tran put in so much value with that Spectre.
Absolutely, and holding that to secure some economy flubber, if you might say. M's struggling, not going to be able to buy Vandal. Oh, but does get the drop from Endeavor. Endeavor going to be taking the Bulldog. So they do have a relatively good buy here. Caillou with light armor, but they should manage rivaling the other side's economy as well.
Light armor on Arena too is doable because of that overheal that can come through, but that's a big knife to start. 0 point, I believe that's called, as they start to move down this main area here. B gonna have to check yellow, though. They know that Chase was playing their last round. Definitely don't want to be on the losing end of that. Crosshair once again.
Look at all the util.
Everything's cleared out. All the Viper util comes down. Just wait until this entire site is green and red. Endeavor can't find that spray down with the Bulldog. K-Tran gets low, but Empress also going to be popped from Caillou. Caillou wants to get in there. He wants to get his hands dirty, trying to find another kill here. But that res also came through for George Mason.
Yeah, the fast to slow play here is definitely screwing with George Mason. As you saw in the first initial push, four players on the B site right now. But looking at the KJ and Viper going through mid, looking at a little bit of a flank. And Seth taking down, not sure.
So you've got 4-tapping running up tube, Seth to hold that mid rotation, and now this entire side of the Saints flipping the script, going, all right, we're headed all the way towards A. Nanoswarm comes out, K-Tran in the corner, he's able to find that shot. 40 health to his name, 40 or 50, somewhere around there. K-Tran has been low this entire round, and yet somehow still making things work. That turret still putting in value for him. He's able to get a pick as well. The spike comes down. 3 Saints in this post-plant situation. Both George Mason players going to be coming up this stair area. Endeavor knows he finds 2 with that Bulldog. First 2 of the game, and you make it with an eco weapon as well. Pick up a Vandal for yourself. You deserve it there. 2-2 now.
Yeah, those triple bursts are something else. Fantastic, but it looks like George Mason going to be suffering on this save round here. They do have 3 Sheriffs in light armor with Ved with the Vandal, but it's looking like it's going to be a difficult area. They are favoring... Are they all going to 5-stack B? What is going on here? Oh, no.
Looks like an 8-stack to come through from the Saints. A start at least. There's that arrow to come down from Ems. Not going to spot out anyone in the corner. Look at this George Mason defense here. This is a
4-man flank.
It's a save option that we see from a lot of teams. You put the 4 players on that flank, and a lot of times the attacking team has no idea, and one lurker or something might just get caught off guard, and you get an easy pick for that one. But nobody really going to be lurking. Obviously, they've got that alarm bot. They've got the turret as flank protection. They've got Seth as flank protection, too. He's going to be a human turret there. Caillou with 3. Endeavor to finish that one off.
That is textbook teamwork. 4-tapping and Seth holding the flank as they... You kind of have to predict that it's coming the way that, that George Mason has been playing. Just textbook.
Especially with no info at the starting of the round, and you know they're on a save. And the fact that Saints employ that strategy fairly often as well. You see, okay, 4 of them had 0 money, probably have pistols in hand, and no one's on site. I wonder where they could be on the map.
It's either mid or flank, which technically they both have to go the same way unless they decide to change their mind and go back through their spawn.
Yeah, they have to cross through that same area anyway, so you've got Seth to hold that. You've got the flanks from Caillou and Endeavor as well. Ems going to be finding a pick there, an early first blood, but Trade comes back from Not Surya, shuts down Caillou as soon as he tries to jump on those ropes. Uh-oh. Hunter's Fury to come through, tags out Surya. Will he find the second shot? Surya with a great jump out of there. Ems can't find that one just yet, but a tag and a little bit of info, and now fairly evened out here. George Mason, much more ultimates available, 2 more to be precise. But a minute worth of time to play with for the Saints here, and they're ready to make this full B rotation.
Yeah, giving George Mason a bit of confusion as to where they're gonna go. None of the George Mason players, 4 players, not on site at all, not on any site at all. But with that plant going down, and they hear it, they're on their way over.
Yeah, all 4 of them were kind of hovered towards that mid area. You had 2 players near kitchen, and then 2 just playing that mid window area, that mid cliff. Not Surya able to find one before they get traded out. Ems gonna spawn a new one over in the corner. Set for 1, Dved trades that one out. K-Tran, it's Ems in the 1v1. Ems for 4 that round. Make it the 4th for the Saints as well. A perfect attacking round from the Saints there. Yeah, even after the crazy trades come through, the trades that probably shouldn't happen. No. Never heard me say that, but even after all is said and done, Ems comes through with those shots and finishes off the round. The post-plant play is phenomenal here from the Saints. You know, a tough pistol and a tough round after the pistol, but I mean, after you lose a pistol, you're expecting a second round on that score line. So
yeah, and the old count for George Mason is at 4 with the Sage, 1 off of the res as well.
Has the res now after they fall in that round, but Endeavor for 2, it's just this Viper left, just Dved.
Wow, that was quick. I
mean, keep in mind, Dved, this is a player who has been able to find a lot of exits on some of these rounds, so these rifles may not be safe for the Saints at least, but the round most likely secured for the Saints here. The taps on Endeavor, this is what I'm talking about. Where does he get this damage from?
Nice. Yeah, like he at least is tagging them at the very least. He's getting 1 or 2 shots off and making the connections, but unfortunately with that round, not being able to secure the kill. 5 ults on the side of George Mason as well.
Yeah, they're just waiting to use these ones. Like, they haven't necessarily had to is the thing, especially when, you know, something like, say, a Viper's Pit or a Lockdown, it's going to come through and it's going to be most valuable at a very specific point in the round.
Yeah.
And when 3 picks come through and it's just your Killjoy and, say, your KO left, it's not necessarily when you want to use that Lockdown. They haven't had a prime opportunity to use it because of all these early picks from the Saints.
Yeah, and that with the KO and Killjoy, they both have lockdown ability, like both have shutdown abilities for their ults. A little bit different for KJ as if you get stuck in that, you're screwed. At the end of the day, you're screwed.
And you've got the Hunter's Fury from the other side to kind of counter that lockdown as well, but St. Clair doesn't have that Hunter's Fury up. This would be a perfect time for a lockdown to come through from K-Tran, but a great pick from 4-tapping there to start. Caillou ready to find this one mid. Empress is popped as well. He's going to be on his thing. Empress just makes everything look so much more twitchy and flicky.
I was surprised. I was like, holy.
What a bounce there from that shock dart. Not Surya wins the duel with Caillou, player who has been on the ball today. Caillou, though,
here it comes.
Falls from there. There's that attacker Killjoy. The first lockdown of the game to be used, and it's not even from K-Tran. I think K-Tran's had it like forever at this point, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. You trade out that Hunter's Fury for the lockdown, and then you're just 1-for-1 on ults. Ems post-plan. He spots one out as well. He knows where the second one is, but the spray transfer is not good. 4-tapping to finish that one off.
Yep. Going with the spray. George Mason might be feeling a little salty after that round because they're forced back to a save round.
It's just going to mean the Saints now even more rounds to be able to put under their belt. 6-2. You've already secured the perfectly even half. The Saints here looking for just any round they can to add to that extra credit. And I mean, right now with the economies looking the way it is, 8-4 is looking like a very possible scoreline here for the Saints. Maybe even a 10-2 if you keep playing as strong as you are, if you keep getting M's playing crazy post plants and the like, before tapping falls early, not having your Killjoy for that post plant is going to be
Look at this.
a tough one, but George Mason is just always off of the site on their save rounds.
If you saw that flank play, all four, like, one defender on site and 4 of them coming through attacker side
Yeah, the
spawn.
4 players with pistols.
Yeah. And Caillou and Endeavor, the double duelists, just putting in the work.
Just cleaning house here. Caillou, tap, tap, tap. Just bobbing and weaving as well. You see those almost like a micro crouch comes through in the middle of all of that counter strafing. Now the head height of your opponent is changing.
Yeah.
The movement is crazy from Caillou as well. 12 and 6 right now.
Yeah.
Not actually the most deaths on his team, but expected from your first man in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now 7-2, 9 rounds in, only 3 more in the half, and like I said, you keep playing like this, 10-2 is definitely in the cards, especially if you're able to shut George Mason down this round. You make it 8-2, they're on another save, you basically guaranteed yourselves the 9-3.
Yeah, absolutely. And George Mason coming out with a more default defense. There's a lot going on here.
Great shutdown from Esper there, but Endeavor
Endeavor
in the back line with that Blade Storm cannot be stopped. Still alive here. Suppress, but has a rifle. Still is able to find one. Can you make it a 4th to shut down the half? Yes, you can.
No way. Full blind, takes 2 steps to the right, secures a kill. Ems did help on that kill. I'm not sure with the Hunter's Fury, but that was almost a given. That was almost a given.
I mean, you give the Jet player a Blade Storm, you give them free access to the back of site, and expect that kill feed to start popping off. Endeavor showing us exactly why he's on the duelist, both last game and this one.
Yeah.
12 now. He's just matched Caillou in kills after that round. Endeavor he was 0-4 at a point in this game.
Yeah, I think start of the match he was like 0-4, yeah. But definitely making a turnaround. Look at Esper on top of the. That's a 2nd round in a row.
Yeah, I don't know how you're not ready for those at this point, especially when you hear that wall go up.
Here
But
it goes.
K-Tran was actually the one who found that kill, interestingly enough. But Esper already beyond rotated out here. K-Tran, what a crossfire with Esper there. Able to just perfectly shut down that Raynalier that comes out and then allow K-Tran to find the crossfire. Players dangerously low. You've got M's here on 20 health. You've got K-Tran on probably like 7 at this point. 5 health on K-Tran.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the lockdown going.
Ems could theoretically give up his life here for the lockdown, but he falls to not Surya. 1 player off site. It's 4 tapping. Operator in hand. They have nothing to stop his peaks other than
can't see him.
Just someone here to soak up all this damage. Oh my lord, not Surya makes that push. He's got tons of time, but I mean, what a shot there. Like literally his toes, his ankle, something.
The pixel of his ankle was sticking out.
Because it wasn't a wallbang.
No,
it was a body shot.
That is precision. I mean, to manage, that's unfortunate for K-Tran. They did come out with a round win, but what a shot. Like, never in my mind I would ever think to think, oh, there's his ankle. Like,
yeah. No idea on that one. 4 tapping with some 5th dimension brain plays.
That's Giga Brain.
I don't know how we got here, but D-Vent starts the round off hot with a pick. That's going to be on that A site there as well. Caillou and Seth going absolutely nuts on this map, though. 1 down A, 1 down mid. Seth gets to hold down the rest of mid. Empress popped by Caillou. Good for 1, back to full health, and resets all of that up. 4 tapping. Will he get caught out by this Hunter Fury? No one tagged by it just yet. 4 tapping gets tagged by it, but he gets the plant down. That's all he cares about. Caillou.
4-2.
Just spraying him down.
Fed on this A site has just been getting bullied round after round. The previous round, I think he got Viper mollied, shock darted, flashed.
Yeah, and while being the player that's mostly good for their ones on the side
Yeah.
of George Mason. Just like you said, yeah, bullied is the right word. Just getting everything tossed their way. Whereas you've got a player like Esper on that Sage who's pushed up super close on the save wall or on the Sage wall and
think
seems to grab no flack at all. Like
And that's
no
just 2 kills.
attention. Yeah, and nets themselves kills from it.
Yeah, the 2 rounds where he's sitting on top of the wall, those are his 2 kills in the
Yeah,
match.
literally. Just
crazy.
the point blank spray down with that Phantom because nobody's expecting you to
No,
be
not
hopped
at
on
all.
that wall, and that's the power of off angles in a attack shooter like this. So
Yeah, going with a really default play here, playing it slow. M's making a bit of a push down mid, but going to be retreating back just in case.
Caillou wants to blind up that turret actually. Or I'm not sure if the Rain Layer works on that one. I swear it does, but could be wrong about
the
that.
flashes work on it, I think.
Yeah, I think every flash should work on the turret, but maybe it was just a timing mishap there. Nonetheless, not Surya pushes into this one. Ceph's good for one,
Trades.
but Ceph falls.
Oh, this flank. Oh, I thought because the KO running back through to attacker saw that they had a chance at the flank, but
What a shock dart! What a shock dart from M's. Planter does get the bomb down, but look at that Sova's health.
74. Oh, on the side of George Mason.
Yeah, on the side of George Mason is a huge shock dart to come through from M's,
Look at
whereas
Caillou
though
on the flank.
Chase Q and the rest of them playing so close around yellow here. What a headshot to come through from
yeah.
M's. Uwu, 3 kills in the pistol, and you take that 10th round as well. The Saints looking to clean this one up as a 2-0.
Yeah, let me knock on wood that the 9-3 curse never happens again. Seem to be having a good
Look at
time.
the boys
Good
up there
time
on stage.
Thumbs up coming through from Endeavor and M's.
Yeah, except what you missed on stream was that Endeavor kept holding his thumb up and smiling until we switched over to him because,
Oh,
you
no.
know, he wants his attention.
He wants his
there.
screen time.
Yeah,
He wants his
exactly.
screen time.
Everyone wants their screen time.
Yeah.
Now, you see the force coming through from George Mason. This is the play they realistically have to make because if they lose this round, try to play for that next one,
It's game.
it's just too close to that 13. It's
Yeah.
too close for comfort, and you're already 7 rounds behind. Realistically, you're so far back that you have to take these risks,
Yeah.
and you have to accept the outcomes, whatever they may be.
Yeah, you really got to just send it. To be honest, that you're down 10-3. You got to do something to catch up.
Yeah, you got to send it. I think that's a perfect word, honestly. Buy the stingers, send it. You see 4 players at site here, but you see Caillou on that mid lurk. There is that Killjoy turret on the back of A here, so they should be able to catch Caillou out, but we're going to have a
4-on-1.
Viper v Viper 1v1 on site here as well. Actually,
going on?
4-tapping might be the one to find that, but will these players actually spot each other? Shots coming out on A
Oh,
side.
there
It's
goes.
Ceph who is able to clean up that kill. I was waiting for some kind of
Yeah,
kill to come
there's-
through, B.
I saw 4-tapping taking a couple shots, but I guess they happened to miss. But Seth coming in on the assist.
Oh, Surya.
Okay.
Good for a tap there, but trade comes out from 4-tapping. K-Tran in a 1v2. Stinger not going to beat Spectre in the end. That's the 11th round for the Saints there. Seth should be able to get this defuse off. Go looking for some weapons, might as well. You know they forced, might as well go look for any upgrades you can find.
Endeavor on stage doing the old Wild West gun flip on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
blow off the smoke.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
11-3 now. The economy of George Mason in shambles. Very, very easy for Saints to take this round and keep the
Yeah.
momentum going. Then you're on match point, and it's like
Yeah.
George Mason, it's such a heavy tax on your mental, too, when you're staring up at a score that
And
high.
you see 11-3. I know I would be saying, "Get me out of this game."
Would have been we in solo queue we call that one GG go next.
Yeah,
but
we could, or for league terms, we say FF15 for that.
yeah.
one.
But here in NACE Starleague, we take it to the final round regardless of the score. George Mason ready to do that as well. You know, even
what
with
is
last
this?
round not exactly going their way, they are going to make this force happen once again. What is that? Tart Caillou not close enough to the middle to
What?
really take substantial damage, but a crazy lineup nonetheless. That would be great for, if you know a player is going to be holding that angle, that is an amazing lineup to come through there from Chase.
Yeah, let me pull out my notebook and write that one down.
Yeah, okay,
Wow.
Mr. Jonas.
Yeah, average Jonas would be proud. Not sure going to be getting 2.
Surya, big ones in this round, especially after 2 last round with those Deagle headshots, trying to show off, trying to not even show off, but just show out and keep your team in the round here. A push comes through from 4-tapping with that Guardian. He tries to make those plays in the 1v3, but 3 players pinched on you.
That and going in with a Guardian single tap, you just spam click and hope for the best when it's a 1v3. You can't do much there.
Yeah, where's the Aim Labs sim for that one?
Yeah, for sure. Getting the scatter shot, you see him just going all over the place with his crosshair. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, can I get an Aim Lab sim for when I'm decayed to 1 health? There's 50 flashes and mollies going off on me, and I'm in 2 Viper ults.
Yeah.
Where's that one?
Yeah. No command ready on the side of Natsuria though. 17 and 13, doing a good job, regardless of the scoreline for George Mason.
Yeah, honestly, in individual performances, there's definitely some standouts here from George Mason, but individual performances from the Saints, on the other hand, these 2 duelists with the pistols in hands are good for 2 kills on a essentially full save round there. A couple deagles to come through, a ghost or 2 as well, but both ghost players fall. It's all up to Ems with this sheriff in hand. Maybe if you're able to get 1 more rifle out of the hands of George Mason here, I'd call it a perfectly fine save round. You play towards that next one. You just keep playing because they have such a big buffer here. They can just soak these rounds.
Yeah, and Esper sitting on top of the wall, getting cheeky, and has a Vandal as well. So M's gonna be struggling for this one. Hopefully, you can pull it out. Take some juju from Caillou on that Ascent played down mid. Hopefully, you can secure this 1v3.
Yeah, that would be insane if this comes through. Spotted out by that recon drone, waiting for that 3rd one to pop. It's gonna pop, but M's time is running out for him on this one, and the second the first shoulder comes out, 2 more follow.
Yeah, just the instant triple swing. There's no hope. There's no hope.
Yeah. I mean, not unless you have -4 ping and you can shoot before they show up on your screen. But
-4 ping, 32,000 DPI.
Oh yeah,
you may have a chance.
May have a chance. You also need to be able to react within a single frame.
Exactly. Economy coming out of the Saints. 2 light armor, full purchases.
Yeah,
full
purchases come through. It was double op. It was double op.
Okay, I was gonna say, did I see a double op coming out? That
you are not mistaken. Double op defense here, 1 per side. I'm assuming, unless that other one is mid. I'm not actually sure who had the other op, to be honest.
It might be 4-tapping on the way he's holding this angle.
Yeah, I believe it's that Killjoy.
You should run.
There it is.
Yep. But lockdown coming out from George Mason. Hunter's Fury coming from Ems. Will he make any damage? Come through?
Endeavor, first shot gonna whiff, and the first blood is gonna go over to Chase. Detained in the window as well. All it's gonna take is one player to peek this. Yeah, but they're not gonna make that push though.
He's in a good position that they're not gonna be able to see him.
They won't be able to see him. They would have had to extend out very, very far to make that one. However, 2 players up now. It's an op down as well, I believe. Or actually 2 ops still in the hands of the Saints. My bad, but
yeah, if they can figure out how to get Endeavor a gun here, they can have a chance here, but
if they can figure out how to get these players out of their spots, out of their angles, but you have to push into them, and
you gotta save.
With an op in hand, you can't really make that happen. The save comes through, 11-6. George Mason not out of this just yet. Similar to what we saw last game, where backs against the wall, they can make it happen.
Yeah, they're making it happen. M's trying to go with a bit of a pop and swing on that one, but Chase able to pick him up on that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta try and go for those.
You gotta do something crafty.
Yeah, the pop and swing, just those wide swings.
Just hit the D key and let it go.
Hit that D key, wait for him to miss a shot or 2, and then you make your shots themselves. But
yeah, I have been on the receiving end of that too many of times, and I get mad every single time it happens. It's like, oh, I should have just waited, but no, just Dedicated.
See, you think if they're moving at a constant speed in one direction,
my
they'll be
DPI
easy.
can match it.
You
No.
think they'll be easy to hit until you realize that you're a human and not a robot. But timer does seem to be paused here too. We may have a timeout coming through from one of these sides.
Is anyone not moving is a question. Oh, looks like Seth.
Oh,
is,
Seth. Yeah, could just be some technical issues coming through, but we're going to have to wait and see. Nonetheless, if we could take a look at these buys here once again for a sec, just check out the inventories. I mean, you see the money in terms of George Mason. They're set up for a few more rounds in the future. Anyone who falls can really rebuy confidently. St. Clair, though, 2 sheriffs, 4 tapping on that operator. He saved that from that last round.
Yes.
Will he keep the operator is the question. It seems like Seth is getting that PC nice and fixed up. Can see out there onto the stage, and there he is, going to be back with us now. And now this is where I want to see, because if you can just George Mason in this situation, if you can just keep the Saints on that back foot, keep them on eco, you could easily bring this to something like 11-8, 11-9, and that is not out of the question by any means.
Yeah, especially on the attacking side, too. Like,
even right now, 11-6 feels infinitely closer than that 11-3.
Yeah, for sure.
The momentum has just yet to stop, flipping it on its head. Kind of doing what St. Clair did on their attacking side, where, yeah, you lose a few rounds initially, but you find your stride and you just keep it going. 4 tapping, Marshall in hand, did give that operator over to Caillou. Reyna on the op, it's an interesting one, but maybe they're just hoping for a pick, maybe toss that op away, grab a rifle for someone else possibly?
Yeah, and look at the KO coming in from mid. St. Clair not expecting it at all. Ems might be able to pick it up. He never picks up a Vandal, though.
They might win
They have
this
a
on a
chance.
save round. They are so close to taking this
3v1.
one on a save round. Surya in the 3v1.
Someone's gotta start.
2 players dangerously low. 1 player hops the bomb. It's at half. He's going to
no.
find Ems. 1v1, not
Oh.
Surya. For 4, a 1v3 clutch to come through.
Wow.
11-7. 7-11 scoreline here.
Yeah, and he was able to save the Vandal as well. Bomb, or the timing on those kills made him be able to save his guns. I mean, not that he needed to save it if you look at that economy, but he was able to keep it.
It's a crazy end to that round, especially when he was using that sheriff. He didn't have a second to reload. Whips out that secondary and makes it work. This is, I mean, you look at the scoreboard. Surya's on 24 kills right now.
Oh, no.
And I think there's 2 players on his team who have broken that double-digit count, that 10 or 11,
Yeah.
I believe is what I just saw. But Katran going to set up an alarm bot in that smoke. Ems decayed but not spotted. As both players move up tube here, all the way into kitchen now.
Caillou potentially looking for the intercept.
The cross has been made, but I believe that turret will
the
spot them
timing,
out.
the timing.
I'm
Oh,
assuming
no.
that's where it's set up for. Caillou, did you not see the shots coming across, or just jumping into that one? Katran and Dved here have now taken full control of kitchen. Surya gets the plant on site. Now you've got a really interesting kind of crossfire here on the map.
Oh, 4 tapping's about to get some iffy timing as well. If Katran makes his way through mid. Oh, 4 tapping making the push though, so he might be able to pull it off.
2 players
Taking
down.
it.
There's the reset on the knives as well.
Gets spotted though. And Seth gonna be taken down by Ved. Endeavor taken down by Ved. Will he get the 4th?
Ooh. Ems back in a clutch situation. 1v3 once again this time. This is for George Mason's 8th round. Last time we saw this, they were looking for 6.
Just look for exits and run. Honestly, run at this point.
Time is not in your favor on that one.
Uh-oh.
A very, very fast attacking round from George Mason as well. Ems falls, loses that rifle. Just going to be a bit of a hit to them. And now, like I said, 11-8. This does not look far at all. George Mason definitely can make this happen, and it's all on not Surya there. I'm sorry, look at this scoreboard.
25 and 13.
12 and 17, 11 and 17. You've got Esper there, 4 and 15 on that stage, and then 25 kills coming out from your KO.
Yeah.
I guess we know who that duelist is in this no duelist comp.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely utilizing his util perfectly and being able to blow 25 kills when your next teammate is pulling out 12. That's something.
In a game that you started off 11-3, keep that in mind as well.
Like, looking like George Mason giving them the bait and switch here, going to A site. No one on A site. 4-tapping and Seth close by though. Gonna be hearing the util though, so they're making their way back.
I mean, if we think about the pass, it was Saints to find a 9-3 half
Does have
here.
the
Saints
lockdown,
have
though.
now only found 2 pistol rounds, and the execute comes out on to site here. Will the bomb plant come down is the question. It is going to come down behind that sage
Oh,
wall.
Caillou.
Caillou with that first pick, and the plant does go through.
Oh, the res comes through. Although 4-tapping does have the lockdown as well.
That's true. Actually, a defensive lockdown here could be huge. Now this player has to push in. Caillou can hold this one. He's got the dismiss as well. Picks up a gun. This could be it. This could be that match point the Saints have been looking for. 3 for Caillou. Bomb is going to be
All you gotta do is hold
tapped.
now.
Just has to wait for that one. Has to wait for these nano
the
swarms.
kills
Has to
there,
wait
Nance.
for all of the mollies to stop coming
Do they
through.
get it?
4 for Caillou. Caillou can't pick up the ace. The defuse starting to come through. Do you have the time? 4 tapping. Or it's M's on the bomb there. No, 4 tapping was on the bomb. He did have the time.
Yeah, K-Tran had to find his ankle. That's the thing. He was in behind that wall. He had to.
There's no ankle in that corner.
Yeah, no ankle in that corner. No op in hand. But Saints gonna be taking that round 2 match point here. Looking
Now,
good. If we
on
can get a
match point, the one saving grace you see on the side of George Mason is that they are not hurt for cash, at least in this round. DVED, a little low in the pockets, but still have that full buy to come through. 3 ultimates as well, but you got to remember that now you don't have any more safety net. You don't have a single round safety net here.
Yeah, no more W keying and you letting loose.
Which means every ultimate that is going to be like clicked, the second you
Critical.
click that X button, it's got to be critical. Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah. George Mason favoring this B site, taking down 2.
2 quick picks. Seth with a trade from mid, I believe. Seth's going to fall. M's and 4 tapping the last 2 in this 2v3. British brothers, can they finish it off here?
Yeah, looking for some info, finds 1. Is favoring that KO is sitting in that little cubby spot. Oh, gets him out with his pants down.
4 tapping good for 1. The shock dart comes out from M's. It's able to
On Ved.
get Surya out of that spot. Now, will they
No.
spot Ved?
No.
Ved, look at him in the corner. The spray down is good. 12-9. Saints cannot finish that one off. Ved,
What?
your angles, your off angles are insane. Saints, start looking left and right once in a while.
And the trigger discipline on that too.
Yeah, waiting for the second player to
No.
cross through was huge.
Yeah, I would have been panicking.
I can feel his heart
Yeah,
rate
my
right
heart, my
now.
heartbeat's going too. What a play by Ved. Insane. 8 assists as well.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you're on that Viper as well. You get those vulnerables, you get those decays, and it just allows your team to pick up so many easy kills that you don't even have to find like one taps for.
Yeah, absolutely. M's gonna be on the reverse end of that that cool recon bolt. Caillou getting a little antsy. Gonna be taken down.
Yeah, just a little too aggressive there from Caillou, trying to go for a lot of these early picks to make. Granted, it would make your defense round so much easier, but is the risk worth it is the question, especially now that the rounds are getting this darn close. You're only 3 rounds away from overtime here if you're George Mason.
Yeah, and George Mason once again playing super slow. Gonna be favoring this A site by the looks of it. Endeavor playing by his lonesome on the B site. Hopefully gonna be making his way. Shorty in hand from Seth, and he's able to dodge the. Oh, he might be done for. Uh-oh.
Tough situation.
Oh, Hunter's Fury.
Hunter's Fury comes through, tags out Chase. It's going to slow down this plant a
Oh, he got raised
ton.
though.
Spotted out his Endeavor, but he moves back on these stairs. The only problem is he's got no weapons really to play with. There's an operator for that post plant. Can you
get it?
shut
Can
down
he
this
get it?
planter,
Oh, he's
Endeavor?
on the other side of the box.
He whiffs all those. Oh, he's on the other side anyway, but either way, those shots go a little bit towards that left.
Bump up.
Endeavor needs to let this decay go away. He has to get some health points back. He's able to find a right click in the smoke, but George Mason, Esper, and K-Tran finish that one off. 2 ultimates used. Now you bring this lockdown into this next round, but that's what I was talking about. You burn those ultimates, and now you only have 1 to work with. You got to play with pretty well just your basic utility and a lockdown. Meanwhile, see Seth, it's going to take an Alt Orb and a kill. Seth drops that Viper's Pit, something like that. There's options here for St. Clair, but light armor as well on 4-tapping.
Yeah.
Set up for that default plant there.
Gotta find the right spot for it. Gotta find the right spot for it.
Yeah, you can pick them up for a reason.
Yeah, K-Tran also with the lockdown. And talking about K-Tran and Ved, going from 4 rounds ago, they had 12 and 11 kills, now at 17 and 16.
Oh, those 2 players have been clutching up in these last 2 rounds. I mean, saw Ved there in the 1v2. Caillou and Endeavor good for 2 early ones. Pushing this Killjoy lockdown as well. Endeavor's good for 1. K-Tran finally finds their 1, but will they get traded out is the question.
Yep, wonderful job by Endeavor getting a 3K at the end of the match.
There it is.
Close game.
Yeah, close game. And that's that attacking side on Icebox. Such a preferred side on Icebox, if anything. And a ton of teams are just so strong there.
Yeah, absolutely. Not sure. I think he finished off with 27, 28?
Yeah, he was
at
close
the end
there.
of it.
Surya, 26. Caillou, 25 kills there. And K-Tran and Dved, like you said, went from 10 and 11 kills when it was, I believe that was 11-7, to the end of that game, 18 and 17 kills. Very impactful in those last few rounds. But the Saints, they have a great aggressive defense round to finish it off. 13-10, done and dusted. That is week 2 of the regular season. Saints Valorant Varsity now 2-0 in the season.
Yep, 2-0. Going back to that Quinnipiac game, definitely a little bit of a lighter challenge than this week. George Mason, excellent job.
Yeah, I mean, a huge comeback from them. Like, or 'cause technically they didn't make the comeback, but the resistance to come through in that second half just cannot be understated. I mean, you saw the results on screen. You saw how the Saints started getting almost baffled by it. Some of those post plans. You saw Dved there, the crazy trigger discipline. There was some moments of brilliance from George Mason that can definitely not be overshadowed by their loss today.
Yeah, like regardless of the scoreline 2-0, going from double digits on Saints to 3-4 rounds for each on their attacking side, or for their second half, and getting to 10 on each side.
Yeah,
at the end of the game,
we almost saw like a repeat of history, right? Because it was 2 pistols, or pistol round, the bonus round for George Mason there. Saints grabbed 9, and then George Mason grabbed the last one. And we almost saw it again on the defensive side, where Saints grabbed the 2 pistol, and then George Mason almost swept it through. That it was sitting at that 11 scoreline for so long there.
Yeah,
Ryan.
they I think it was like 6 or 7 rounds straight. And it's
like,
all right, here we go. Time to kick it into gear. Close out the game.
Yeah, and they just play super well off that momentum. But in the end, Saints close it out off of their early lead, and I think that is going to be our cue for us to close it out as well. Coming in here, I mean, Ryan, thank you for coming on the broadcast with me. I know, funny story, you thought you were doing COD 3 days ago, and then here we are on the Valorant stream.
It was a bit of a jumble. COD and Halo are my main 2 games for FPS, and then NACE Starleague ended up picking up the COD game, and I'm like, oh, okay, what's next? And it's Valorant. I'm like, okay, a little bit longer. I might have to talk for a little bit longer, but here we are. We're done, and I can stop talking.
Yeah, it's been an awesome day on the mic with you. I personally love to get on here with fresh faces anytime that I can, but it's been real today. Saints taking this 2-0 victory in the regular season here in week 2. Thank you to everyone in production who helped make this happen. We had even more stuff going on behind the scenes today.
This is the first time I'm a part of this. I shout out Amanda and Jobin and Alex and Dan in behind the camera. Usually I'm behind the camera, so shout-outs are I'm usually on the receiving end. This time I'm giving them hopefully the last time. I'm just kidding.
I'm dragging him on again just so everyone out there knows. But
COD for sure.
Nonetheless, thank you to our production team for making this happen. And as we wrap up things for the night, Saints, 2-0 in that NACE Starleague regular season. I'm Josh Fundy Pafundi, joined for the first time tonight by Ryan Sheehan. It's been an awesome broadcast. Hope all of you have a great night.